All right, today we're going to break down a framework that tackles one of the biggest time wasters in the mortgage industry. That endless, soul-crushing admin work that keeps brokers from doing what they actually love and what actually makes them money, which is closing deals. So let's dive right in.
And this is really the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? Take a second and really ask yourself, are you spending most of your day being a broker? Or are you an admin? Are you chasing paperwork, playing phone tag, or are you having those high-value conversations that move the needle? Well, this whole framework is designed to completely flip that script for you.
I mean, look at this. This chart shows the brutal, honest truth about the speed-to-lead race. A whopping 78% of customers sign with the very first person who gets in touch with them. Just let that sink in. If you're not first, you are literally fighting over the 22% of scraps left on the table. It's a race you can't afford to lose, and it's the first huge bottleneck we need to solve.
Okay, so the big question is, how do you guarantee you're the first one to call, every single time, even on a Saturday night? Well, the answer starts with automating that very first call, and just absolutely dominating the first 5 minutes after a new lead comes in.
You know, this right here is the make or break moment. We call it the critical 5-minute window. It's where a potential deal is either won or lost. And it often happens before a broker even gets the notification on their phone. Think about it. A lead comes in at 8 p.m. You're with your family. By the time you see it, it's already too late.
So, here's the game changer. Instead of you scrambling to find your phone, a conversational AI agent calls that new lead within seconds. And this isn't some clunky robot. It acts like a junior loan officer, having a real conversation to qualify them on income, credit, and their actual intent to buy. And it does this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And here's the key takeaway. The broker, that's you, is completely removed from that initial frantic chase. You only get involved after a lead is pre-qualified and an appointment is sitting right there on your calendar. The system filters out all the noise, all the tire kickers, so you can focus on what you're best at, closing the loan.
All right, let's tackle the next massive headache, the dreaded document chase. We've all been there. It's a process that usually hits what this framework calls the login wall, and it's a huge point of friction that can stall a deal dead in its tracks.
You know the drill, right? You send your client a link to a portal. First, they have to create a new account, then they immediately forget the password, then they get locked out, and just like that, all the momentum you built is gone. All of that frustration just to upload a couple W-2s, it's crazy.
So the solution here is just beautifully simple. Your client gets a unique, one-time encrypted link sent right to their phone via text. They just tap the link, snap a photo of their document with their phone's camera, and that's it. Boom! The document is instantly and securely uploaded right where it needs to go.
Think about what's happening here. There's no username to remember, no password to forget, no app they have to go find and download. By removing every single one of those roadblocks, you make it absolutely effortless for them to get you what you need. This isn't just a nice little convenience. It shrinks the document collection process from days down to, literally, minutes.
Okay, so now we're entering the phase that for most clients feels like a total black hole. This is that period when the loan file is with the lender for underwriting. And this, my friends, is where client anxiety goes through the roof.
And what does that anxiety lead to? Yep, this. A constant stream of calls, texts, and emails. Any updates? Is my loan approved yet? These little interruptions seem small, but they shatter your focus, drain your day, and they're all driven by one simple thing. Your client is in the dark, and they're nervous.
So the framework solves this by flipping the script and being proactive. The system actually watches the loan file for tiny little updates like appraisal received, and the second it sees one, it automatically texts the client with great news. This constant communication builds incredible trust, and get this, it eliminates about 90% of those inbound just checking in calls.
So we've seen how all these pieces work, which is pretty cool, but let's get down to what really matters, right? The bottom line. What's the actual tangible return on investment? Let's break down the numbers and see the real-world impact on a business.
Just look at this side-by-side comparison. The old way, endless emailing, downloading attachments, renaming files, putting them in the right folder, that eats up about 25 minutes of your time for every single client. With this system, where the client uploads and the system auto-files and renames everything, that time drops to zero. It just evaporates.
So what does that add up to? The impact is massive. For every 10 active files you're juggling, this framework gives you back approximately 5 full hours of your life.
5 hours. And it's not just about saving time, it's about making more money. The system has this smart stall detection logic. It can tell when a lead has gone cold, and it automatically reaches out to re-engage them. On average, this recovers about 15% of leads that would have otherwise just disappeared forever. And here it is, the headline number. When you put all of these different efficiencies together, the result is a 40% overall reduction in the time brokers spend on admin work. Just think about that for a second. That's almost half of your admin time just gone. But it's not all about the hard numbers. There are these other powerful, soft returns. For one, you get bank-grade security, which means you're not emailing sensitive tax documents back and forth anymore. Goodbye liability. And you get what we call the Amazon effect. You give clients such a modern, smooth, easy experience that they want to tell their friends and family about you.
But the framework doesn't just stop at fixing problems. This final piece is what we call the blue ocean features. These are workflows that go beyond just efficiency. They're designed to proactively build relationships and generate new business for you, automatically.
Take the realtor loop, for example. The second a client's file is marked clear to close, the system automatically sends a text message to the realtor with the good news. Think about it from their perspective. It's a simple, proactive update that they love. And that kind of communication is exactly what builds the loyalty that keeps referrals coming your way. Or how about this one, the birthday rate watch. Instead of sending a generic, useless happy birthday email, the system checks if current market rates are actually lower than your past client's rate. If they are, it sends a personalized message that creates a real, valuable opportunity for a refinance. It turns a boring touchpoint into a potential new loan.
You know, this quote from the systems architect just nails the whole philosophy. Most software out there is just another tool that you have to log into and manage. This is designed to be an ecosystem of invisible automation that just works for you in the background. The goal isn't to sell you software, it's to literally give you your time back.
And really, that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. With 40% of your administrative burden just lifted, what would you do with all that time back? Would you go find more clients? Would you spend more time with your family? That is the ultimate value here, and it's something really worth thinking about.